So in the past, I've seen some couples actually divorcing on this particular topic. And in today's video, my hope is that I can give you some tips that can help you to have a decent conversation and you can all be happy in one way or the other. And by the way, I've also faced this back in the days. Back in the days, my wife would say to me, hey, let's invest. And I actually didn't understand what she was talking about. And within that, we started learning together. And out of that, I saw the light. And today, my friends, I am the one who's now preaching this. But I remember very early on in our relationship, I didn't get it. My wife would be like, hey, I've invested in stocks, I've done this and what, and I'm like, what is that? And in today's video, my hope is that if you are in this space where you've started having conversations with your partner, but you are not just getting along in terms of you getting started. So I get it, you're frustrated, but I can help you. I've been at it, I'm married myself, so I know what I'm talking about. And I've also had that personal conversation with thyself, obviously without falling off the bandwagon, because you've seen that I do real estate and we invest in other things as well. Maybe let's start off by talking about where are we today? Are we at the beginning of our relationship? Are we, we've already done a couple of things and they failed? Or are we in our elderly years and now, it's kind of like we're trying to invest for anything else. So I want to speak to you in wherever you are in your life. I want to speak to you as a husband and wife. And this is Uncle TJ speaking today. So let us start. And you're most welcome to pause it. Bring in your partner here so that you can listen to this, or even just send it to them, right? And then we can always talk about it. So the first one I want us to speak about here is that many people actually divorce for the fact that two reasons. Number one, there is no communication in a relationship. And my friends, we could be saying communication, what are we talking about? The second reason is that people actually divorce because of there is no communication around finances. So this is a double whammy now that we're talking about. And now if you are to put these two together, you now have like a huge problem. I think it was the Divorce Society. I was looking on their website and they were talking about the reasons why many people would divorce. And basically it is the main thing, right? And there's other things, like cheating and whatnot. But actually it boils down to two things. Number one is finances, and the second one is communication. Now, we're talking about investments here, right? And you might be already thinking to say, hey, this person, if they're not willing to go with this journey on me, and should I maybe divorce them? Hold on, not yet. I know you love them. So there's an opportunity here where you can still be able to salvage the relationship, and not just salvage the relationship, but also grow it immensely. Because I think if my wife at a point when she realized that this guy is a little bit dumb, should have left me, and what we have today, we would have never been able to see it. But she started showing me things in a loving manner. So let's buckle up and let's talk about it. By the way, if you are new to this channel, my name is TJ. I'm always here, and I do property investments. Over and above that, I buy businesses. Over and above that, I help you to be the best person that you can be. So I do a little bit of coaching in the time that I've got. But obviously, I do that for people that are really keen and growing their business, who are very serious. But let's assume here that your partner they don't want to invest. So we already know that the conversation of communication and finances, it can lead to divorce. So that's not where we want to go. So we want to talk about how best now can you manage this going forward. The first one, I'm going to give you kind of like steps. And these steps here, they're not steps to follow like 1, 2, 3. Some of them you may run in them in parallel. The first one, my friend, is that how about you start to have an open communication with your partner? Now, when I say open communication, what do I mean? Not all of us come for money. Not all of us come from understanding money. And not all of us has the ability to go and read books for us to be able to understand things. For most people, when they go to work, maybe this is actually their biggest achievement. So being employed. So now we are bringing in this whole conversations of investing. It's another layer that we might have never thought about. And I'm just speaking from my own perspective here. When my wife started talking the conversation about investing, and she was telling me at the time already, I think it was in our first year of marriage, that she's doing some investments. I'm like, what for? We've got good jobs. And I was thinking, hey, I've arrived. I've got a good job. I'm at the bank. The bank never really fires anybody. But here we are. We had an open conversation at one point. And the open conversation kind of went like this. This is where we are today. But if we are to save some money, we can get the money to work for us. But what are the options? And if we are to put that money there, it basically means that we are working and the money is working for us. I got that. But now the challenge was, where do I go and invest? Right? Or what do I invest in? That was my personal challenge, and my wife was already doing these things. But here's the thing that I also want to bring out to. Whilst you're having an open conversation, take the baby steps. Like I said, not all of us come from survey families. So I didn't come from no survey family. Nobody had it. I didn't even know that there was books that I could read. I was watching TV and movies and all of those things, but I didn't see nothing like invest. So this was foreign to me. So my friend, this is now in a foreign territory where you are taking someone. And this is someone that you love, and you're saying, let's invest. And maybe some of you are already talking about, let's invest in a property. And they're not seeing the need of buying a second property. They're like, let's just sell off. Let's just pay off the house that we have so that we are debt free. And you are saying, no, let's increase debt to invest and what. And this might be a challenge in the relationship. So your departure point is not together. So start with the baby steps of what is investments. Start with the baby steps of what does your future need to look like when you're old. Bring it very home. Bring it very close to home in terms of, you don't want to be like your parents who are now staying, let's say they are retired and maybe they're in the rural areas, or maybe they are retired and they are dependent on you, right? You can bring in all these things, but you need to do it in a loving manner, because this person might not be seeing it. Like I'm saying, I didn't see it, right? So here we are on step number 2. Step number 3 is that, how about you explain the benefits of investing? So talk about the good things. What can come out of investing? Are we talking about maybe if we invest 100,000 today, we can take a trip to Europe? Maybe you can talk about, if we are to invest today, we can pay off our house quickly. Or maybe you can talk about, there's so many benefits in investing. Speak of it obviously from a short-term perspective. Speak of it obviously from a long-term perspective. And by the way, this conversation doesn't need to be a bedroom talk. I'm just being real here. Because, you're talking to me in the bedroom about this money, and I just want to get it on, So this head is not thinking. The other head is the one that is thinking here. You know what I mean? So find a place, even a McDonald's. make it an excursion so that at least they can receive this information better. And I'm really like being truthful to you here, guys. I'm like opening up. I'm like, how about we do it differently? But what is differently? Okay? So you know better. You might be the man or you might be the woman, whatever it is. The place in which you can have this conversation, it might also contribute to their understanding. In one of my other videos, I speak about how about you give them a book. If they're a person that like to read books, how about you give them a book? You know, a Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or Bingo. That's what my wife did for me. And it opened up my mind. And it opened up my ears. It opened up my entire whole being. And I was like, whoa, there is another world out there. And these days, I'm at the forefront of learning these things because my wife planted that seed for me. So shout out to my wife on this one. So I also want to say to you, this is another step. All these conversations that I'm talking about, you may not need to have all the conversation all on one day. Ne? You can have these conversations in different time slots, in different places. It's a journey. Remember, you're starting a new thing. Investing is not for everybody, but it should be for everybody. Here at the TJ Tribe, we believe that every parent should be earning some real estate, some passive income through real estate. So how do you start? Hey, my friends, I'm very sorry that I have to disturb the amazing conversation that is happening. But I thought, let me just jump in here and give you a little bit of a good word of a service that I utilize, which is called Expelo. You might have never heard of them before, but basically what Expelo is, all of us who are here, we do property investments. And as and when we do property investments, we have properties that we have and we take insurance on that. And we also have tenants that we've got. And at some point, these tenants tend not to pay. It's a reality in our market. At a national level, they generally say around about 20% of tenants fail to pay. If they fail to pay, what is the recourse? You probably now need to evict them, isn't it? And the cost of evicting anybody, even the going through of that process, can be extremely tedious. And my friends, that's where Expelo comes in. I utilize Expelo myself in all my properties that I've got. The Expelo company, what they basically do is that I said to myself when I was trying to explain this to my wife the other day, and I said to her, babe, Expelo to us is the big brother that we pay on a monthly basis, and as and when we ever have a delinquent tenant, a tenant that is not paying, we can always call on Expelo, and they will do the eviction for us. We don't need to worry about it. They'll handle all the legal fees. They will do everything in ensuring that this tenant is evicted. So my friends, I just thought that it is unfair of me not to share with you this information. So on the screen right now, it's the details of basically how you can reach out to Expelo and you can claim your discount. Well, you might not be able to get the entire link because it's on the screen, but if you have to click in the description of the video, you'll be able to see the same link that is in here that says expelo.link/TJ Tribe. And that's to get you your discount. So my friends, don't be caught with your pants down with your tenants and they become delinquent and you fail to evict them. Just go to Expelo. But for now, let us go back to that interesting conversation that we were having. Thanks for watching. And by the way, if this information is being valuable, send it to somebody else. Let them check. Just tell them, hey, listen to what this cat is saying. Is this talking nonsense or is this what? Right? Or over and above that, don't forget to subscribe so that when there's another cool video like this one coming out, you'll be the first one to get it. Now, I also want to be realistic here. Explaining the good stuff is great. Those are the benefits of investing. But one of my greatest teachers, Robert Kiyosaki, he speaks about if you are to invest, you need to be prepared to lose that money. Which brings me to my next point, where if you are to invest, how about you also start talking about the ugly part of investing? Because you can invest and you can lose all of your money. It is very much possible. But you can also invest in specific assets where your money never erodes, right? So you may lose, but you may not erode your capital. And that's the point here. So I'm saying, speak about the good things, but also speak about the bad things, and let you all be comfortable. Now, remember, you're in a relationship. Maybe you're married, or maybe you're just about to get married. But wherever you are in this relationship, there's a big word that is called compromise. Yep, I did say that word. If the other person is not getting it yet, so where do you compromise? So do you start small on your own? Do you do it on the side, show them the results? Or do you wait them to come round and you're losing on the opportunity of starting now? It depends with your person, right? But the point is that because you're already married, remember, my friends, you are going to grow old together. And by the way, this guy here or this man here, whoever it is that you're married to, this partner, it's one of your life choices. You chose to be here. And for this reason, my friend, if she's not getting it or if he's not getting it, it doesn't mean that it's the end of it. It's a choice that you made. We need to live with the choice and we need to improve with the choice. So I'm talking from this here from a very good space, my friends, in terms of how best can we compromise to work with each other. The next point I can speak to here is that start learning together. Oof. When my wife and I, we started working together, it was amazing. It opened up doors for us. We started understanding things together and we started doing things together. Our conversations in the house changed and life became different. The learning part, my friend, is you can come to the TJ Tribe. We can teach you how to do this. But maybe you're not ready to invest in the education. So invest in books, invest in podcasts. Talk about the podcast after. Send him this video here or send her this video here and say, hey, what did you learn? It's part of learning. When you get into a place of compromise, don't start big. Because if you lose big, then that's the end of it. Start small, right? I always say to people, let us start small. But if all of this fails, maybe you need to go and seek some professional help. And professional help will come obviously from they're not siding you, neither they're siding the husband, but they'll find a middle ground on how best you can work together in your relationship. My friends, this is Uncle TJ, just being truthful to you, letting you know that you can do it. Even though your partner today is on the edge and saying no, but you can work on this relationship and you can start investing. I'm hoping to see you on the next video and also investing alongside everybody else who's doing it. It is I, TJ. We will check you out on the next video. Boom, boom.